I need to know everything, who and the what and the where, I need everything. Trust me, I hear what you're saying, but I like to know what you're telling me. I'm curious, George, I hop in the Porsche, 5 and a horse, I'm ready for war, I'm coming for throws, to turn to a ghost, I need to know everything. Now you be surprised at the info you get is by letting them talk, so I'm letting them talk. Gotta keep quiet, maneuver inside to let them and chalk up their body. Another one body, this is how it goes. I got some secrets, I'm shaking the game so they stay on their toes. Stay in your lane, I stay on the go. I can play with the pros and act like rookies, so they overlook me.
Making it live, making it fun, making it live.
They just got lucky, but never adapted. So once in the
y'all.
one, just come with the flow.
Let's get with it.
I let them think that they got me, but what do you know?
Welcome to the Golf Locker Room Podcast. Welcome to the Golf Locker Room Podcast. What up, Big Siff?
What's good with the brothers and sisters around the globe?
Oh, man. I think everybody's doing good. Miss Clark's Golf Life, what up, though?
What up, though? What up, fam? Let me tell you. It's been real. I've been decompressing from the tournament this weekend. It was such a success, and we had so much fun. So, what's up with you?
Oh man, tell us about it. Go on into the big golf weekend. The big golf weekend. Let's give it up. How was it?
So,
how did it turn out?
It was phenomenal. So we had our meet and greet on that Friday. It was off the hook. It was a really, really good time. Went off on 2 and 3 hours of sleep, and we had a scramble in the morning. The big scramble. Great time. We had Carrie Stewart out of California, and we had Tabby Hart out of Texas. Both of them won. The ladies showed up and showed out. So Tabby got closest to the pin, and Miss Carrie Stewart rocked it out and got the longest drive. So big ups to those ladies. But again, we just really had a good time. We had folks from all over the place. And then Sunday was a big skins game. So everybody showed up and showed out. I think we had about 6 or 7 skins that held up. So we got some people that got paid. And it was just a good time. And the 19th hole was everything. Our Saturday get down, we had Kid Capri hosting our Saturday event, our Saturday get down. So that was a whole vibe. So yeah, it was a good time. If y'all didn't make it out, definitely got to come out next year.
Please come out next year. Was it a charity piece to this, or?
Absolutely. Yeah, it was a charity piece, most definitely. For breast cancer awareness, we had Pink is Possible. So it was Diamond Life Entertainment and Tricia Clark and Nellie Nels, and it was put together with Pink is Possible, again, for breast cancer awareness. So it was a really good event for a really good cause.
Dope. We always like that. That's the power of golf. The charity piece is always the most important part of golf, whether it be professional or the amateur. And so much money and so many campaigns have been boosted by golf.
Yes.
And the money that it brings in. And it's just, because again, usually people who golf have the means to golf, which have a little extra means to give back to the communities. And if you love to golf and you love to give back, the two always been coinciding since the beginning of time. And I'm just glad. And that's why, again, it's so important that minorities golf, because it's a great way to make contacts. It's a great way to give back to different causes you might not even knew that or you was aware of. And, the culture is rich.
Yes. One more piece.
Okay.
One more piece. Want to make sure that we shout out Renegade Golf. They came out. They were our golf ball sponsor for the big golf weekend. So he came out, represented, and it was a really, really good look. And so got some great things to come with the Renegade Golf Ball as well. So, we'll talk to that a little bit more later.
Nice. And again, it all puts pieces to a huge, bigger puzzle. You have opportunities for entrepreneurship within the space, which then circle back around and support charities and support events. Black dollars spending and receiving and giving in a circle. Haven't we all been talking about that? Recycling black dollars? Haven't we been talking about that? Well, guess what golf does? It's another great way to recycle black dollars. What's up, Tricia?
So we also, like, I don't want to forget, I'm gonna forget a few. So charge it to my, my head, not my heart. But we did also have from Wisconsin, we had We Black We Golf. They came through. From New York, we had Honors Golf. Mr. Thomas Moran, he came through. We just had a bunch of different individuals. And obviously, the Golf Locker Room podcast represented and did some whole sponsorships and everything. And so, like I said, it was just a really, really, really great vibe. My heart was full. My heart was full.
Recycling black dollars, recycling good dollars. And that's why we're going to get into this series in between junior golf and in between entrepreneurship. Get rich and die golfing. Because if we don't have money, as a lot of current events, and we're going to dive, I got to, and I want to be careful. But we're going to dive in just a pinch of the current events that's been happening, because it kind of doesn't really affect the Black community, but it touches the Black community's heart when we see a brother that needs may need some help. In my personal opinion, I believe it's a crisis going on. I hope that it's a family member or a loved one that's been with him since the beginning that can go and be like, you have to get help. And anything you say after we know you've gotten help, we'll ride with you. If that's your true colors, if that's what you want to say after medicine, after being physically checked out by a licensed physician, then we know it's you. We know it's not the illness, and we'll ride with you. And so hopefully a family member, and it's hard. I'm in healthcare. It's hard because when we see successful people in a family, usually they're the ones who take care of the whole family. So it's hard to be hard on the person that bought you the house and that gives you the monthly stipend every month to be like, look, no matter what, you're going to have to get some help. My house be damned. It's hard for people to do that, man. It's hard for people to do that. You always give them the quadruple benefit of the doubt, but that's why I say it has to be family, it has to be loved ones, because they know what's in their hearts, and they've seen him in good and bad situations. It's not for the internet or somebody like me or anybody. We don't know him like that. But family with good intentions that only has pure love need to make some hard decisions. They need to make some hard decisions, because some of the things that I've been seeing, he was in LA today, getting kicked out of the Skechers corporate offices downtown LA. Skechers getting kicked out of Skechers with the police and walking them out the building. Love on him, y'all. Love on him, y'all. But I definitely, and I think we definitely can take lessons, not from him personally, but just as a business lessons. And we got to dive a little bit into Nipsey Hussle used to always be like, I'm trying to control my supply chain. You can't be canceled if you own the supply chain. You own, or you have a direct business relationship with the raw goods and manufacturers of your stuff, and then you have a distribution channel, whether Gap or whoever drops you, you can just be like, close them down and send them right to my website. The ball keeps rolling because I own my supply chain. I own my distribution. I put my own money into my products. So you can cancel me and less people will see, but I still have an outlet because I own my supply chain. We got to own our supply chain. That's number one. Number two, I've seen a lot of our folks was like, they didn't go ham on him when he said slavery was a choice, or George Floyd was on drugs and the police didn't kill him. And it's time for hard truths, y'all. We don't own anything big enough to punish him. Let's say that again. We don't own anything big enough to punish him. And he didn't do business with black people. So the black people couldn't punish him because he was doing business with other people. His money wasn't in the black bank. His money was in Chase. And Chase canceled his account. So we got to start looking at the big picture and how we do business as a people, how we try to do good business, how we try to do, things for ourselves. What if he said no one can go to the hospital? Do we own any hospitals? What if they ban them from hospitals? Can we go to? Can we fly to any hospital that's owned? It might be one. I don't know. I don't know every single hospital. I know we got churches, but I don't know if we got hospitals. Luckily, we've gotten better schools that's owned and ran by us, so we can educate. Thank God. So we got to look at the bigger picture, and this is just not a pile on him, because obviously he needs to be loved on and needs some caring people to hug him.
Like, so my thing with that is, and I could be wrong, but it just obviously it seems like from when he lost his mom, like she was his glue. She was the piece that kept him all together. So when he lost her, that was a trigger, and he's just been spiraling ever since. So I mean, if we know that, I mean, I know that, y'all know that. I mean, why isn't somebody stepping in and trying to help him? You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, he's brilliant. He's a brilliant artist, right? What, everything. And it just, like I said, since his mom passed, it was like, that was it. That was the glue, and it came unglued, and somebody just has to bring him back in.
That's true. And you never know, was he being under controlled, and moms made sure even back then he was taking medicine. We don't know that history, but he could have been afflicted even during that time, and she was the rock that kept him stable. I mean, there's probably 5,000 homeless people in LA roaming Skid Row and roaming the streets, and it's not that they're broke. It's because they're suffering from mental illness. You can give them all the hotel vouchers, apartments. You know what they're going to do? They're going to go in there and huddle with their friends and self-medicate, and they're going to sleep outside because and they're not getting treated. And it's hard to treat them because we as a people, and I'm talking about all people, not just minority people, we as a country have not done well with mental health. Nah. We've wielded power and just locked up people and put them on 5150s that we don't like. And so now you can't be trusted with actually going out and being like, look, you are out of hand. You're walking around with a machete. We need to do something. But we've abused that power so much. They put the 5150 powers in police powers. Police can write a 5150. Yeah. Well, we know all police don't do the right thing. You know what I mean? We know social workers and even healthcare workers don't think Black women have the pain they do. You can put two different people in a ER room and two can be yelling for pain. You'll have healthcare workers and nurses look at the Black woman and be like, she's not in pain. And then look at someone else and be like, get her medicine immediately. That still goes on. I'm in healthcare. I know. And it's hard to talk about, but it's perceptions of, they're strong. They can take the pain, so it's hard to try to force people to be locked up. It's hard to try to force people to be on a 5150, but we got to work it out because it's not going to end well.
But the thing is this, man. First of all, we should never put people who have celebrity status in a position to be our leaders. That's the first thing. I'm not gonna, as great as Tiger Woods and Michael Jordan and the list goes on and on. I don't look for them. I don't look to them for political guidance. And so that's where we make the first mistake. I think Malcolm had said that many moons ago. We should never look to celebrities to lead us politically because they're a part of an entity, and they can be swayed one way or the other. And the thing is with Kanye is he had actually turned his back on Black and brown people at one time. I love Kanye. I think he's a musical juggernaut. However, when you're rolling with the Kardashians, you're out front. You don't want to sign autographs. You don't want to take a picture with folks. I mean, come on, man. That's not leadership for Black and brown people. For me, that's dictatorship. That's that's neo-colonialism. He's being put in a position as a face to control the narrative for Black people. Just like he said in his interview, Nike being 362 on the Forbes 500 is a position for politics, how to move the needle as it relates to Black people. And that's the same thing that he was chosen to do when he dealt with what was the company? Not Marshalls, but
Gap.
Gap
Or
Yeah, yeah. So you signed Kanye to Gap, and all of a sudden now the CEOs and Gap administrators, now they can brokerage a deal with China because they feel like they have the ear of the Black community. So I never look to celebrities as my political figures. I just look at them as celebrities.
Yeah, it's tough. They're great minds in entertainment, so I don't want to dismiss. There's great minds in entertainment. If you ever listen to Denzel, Khalid, they're great minds in entertainment. But you know, yeah. So let's love on them. I always tell people, what if what if Eminem was like, I'm going DEFCON 3 on Black people? What would happen?
Shit.
Exactly. People be like, cool, let me go get my guns. Let's go DEFCON 3. You know what I'm saying? You can't label a whole religion or race of people and say they're thieves and hustlers. You can say this particular business group, no matter what their race or what their culture is, are thieves, and the business dealings was already janky from the start, even though I participated in it, and I'm going to try to change it. So I'm going to open up a label and I'm going to pay my artist this, or I'm tired of being canceled, so I'm going to spend my money and open up a supply chain and a distribution line so other fashion people won't have to go through what I went through, because they can go through a line, and I'm going to give them access to buy into the supply chain and the material goods, the raw material goods, and teach them that this is what it takes to have a fashion company. But that's neither here or there. We're a golf podcast, but we like to touch on social issues. Trish.
Yes. So one last thing before we bring our guest on. So I want to make sure that we shout out and congratulate our very own Willie Mack III for breaking Q School barrier. He earned his Corn Ferry Tour membership via second stage of the of competition. So we definitely want to shout that out and congratulate him. We are definitely rooting for that man.
And I see we're getting fruit from that APGA Tour tree.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
We have a well-deserved person that's going to the Corn Ferry and maybe play a few PGA Tour events too, and take the real route to the PGA Tour, which is the Corn Ferry Tour. And we have a well-deserved, hardworking professional that has a great chance to be on the Senior Tour, the Champions Tour. And the APGA has helped both of them get there through a ways of still playing tournament golf and putting a little money in their pocket to pay for all the expenses that's needed to get to that level of play, because everything costs money. And so this is some of the fruit, and this is, I hope, I mean, we haven't talked to them. I haven't talked to them. They haven't been on the show, but I think hopefully that was their mission the whole time, to have enough people playing in many tournaments, put a little money in their pocket, play better courses, and then matriculate on to the respective tours once they play that kind of level golf and are ready to go. So shout out to both of them. They are doing what the mission was called for. So that's dope. That's dope. Anything else before we bring on our guests? And we're just going to talk today. They always say, oh, why don't we bring on real people? Everybody's real. We're going to bring on just regular folks and just talk about, we're going to talk about golf and whatever we want to talk about in golf. We're just going to talk about it. We're going to get raw, and, everybody has an opinion. So, people listen to the podcast for varying opinions and hard talk, tough talk. Let's have some tough talk. That goes with the Kanye piece, junior golf, money, business, all in love to get better. Leadership. What is it going to take for us to
Yeah,
respect leadership? What is it going to take? And what is it going to take for us to recognize leadership and then follow leadership? I don't know. Hopefully
I say
soon.
trust and transparency.
That comes first with anything. Even if you're not a leader, that will help you on your journey to making an impact in our world. Hopefully,
Mm.
transparency for sure, trust for sure. Um, but yeah, let's continue this. Let's continue the conversation. Tiff or Trish, bring on our guest. Let's go.
Alrighty, so this evening we have a wonderful guest. It's Mr. Jay McNair. He's my little neighbor out here in the little Tampa Riverview area. But
That's right.
he's played college golf with the Tim O'Neills, the Chris
Dope.
Hannas, the Phil Terrells. He played at FAMU. He has a son that's in the youth golf world, so he has that experience going on, and he's just one of the realest dudes that I know. So we're gonna bring him
Dope.
on. We're having a good time. He also was featured on The Big Break. So if he wants to talk about that, we'll talk about that too. But it's gonna be a good fun time this evening. Let's bring on Mr. Jay McNair.
Love it. Love it. Love it.
What's cracking? What's cracking? What's cracking? What's happening?
There he is. There he is. There he is. There he is. I was getting words for a minute.
Jay,
There
Jay,
he is.
Jay.
There he is. Let's go. Let's go. Let's put him in the spot he deserves.
Why couldn't I pick my intro music?
Oh,
You can next time for
Pick my
sure.
intro music?
You are next time for sure. For sure you can.
What would have been?
Huh? I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't even. I just go through the. I just go through the.
I'm asking Jay.
What we can license
I'm
legally to play.
and not get in trouble.
YouTube and that Facebook, that police be on you. Let me tell you, you just can't be playing no music that you ain't paid for. That's for sure. Jay McNair's in the house, y'all. He's in the house. Let's give him a clap. Let's give him an air horn, because like all of us, we're in the golf world, but he's traveled quite a few journeys, good journeys, and quite a few experiences and firsthand knowledge of a lot of different things in the golf world. So Siff was y'all never have on no real people. So guess what? We got somebody real today, y'all. We're gonna get to it. We're gonna get to it. Welcome, Jay McNair.
Man, I appreciate it. I appreciate the time. Appreciate the opportunity. Let's talk.
All right. Siff, I'm gonna let you start it off. Let's start up a conversation and pile in.
Jay, I when I put the Manny always does a prep video to put out for our guests. So I had to put in caps, keeping it real. No, keeping it a buck, Jay McNair, because that's the one thing that you always do. I don't have to worry about where you stand or scratch my head or what have you, because you've always been authentic. You've always been real. We've had conversations here in the last couple of weeks, and the one thing that, and I'll start it off. Pond water. Pond water is weak, so I'll start it off a little weak. But the one thing that you always say that I always repeat is, you said, I'll get excited when my child gets excited about this game. And you say he knows what time I go to the range. And if he wants to be there, he'll be there. But if not, he won't. And it's okay if he doesn't want to. Could you expound on that? Because we have a lot of parents, man, that are playing remote control with their kids in this golf space. And we're going to have some kids that are burnt out. We may have some kids that don't even want to do this shit. Uh, but they're living well, the parents are living vicariously through their child. So could you expound on that piece?
Yeah, I see it all the time because I'm a middle school administrator, so I see it. In Saturday football, I see it when I'm coaching sports. Parents want to be out there, yelling at the kids and this and that. One thing about anything that you do at any age, you gotta like it. Like if you don't like doing it, you're not gonna want to do it at some point, right? So if my son doesn't want to get up and go to the golf course with me at 7 o'clock on Saturday, it's fine, right? It's fine. He's only going to be as good as he wants to be. He's got every opportunity to be good. My wife and I right now, we're spending over $300 a month on golf for him. He's got no excuse. But I'm not going to push what I do and what I want to do on him. I want him to say, Daddy, can we go to the golf course? Then I'm going to get excited. Then we're going to put some work in. But if he, and he's starting to get upset when he doesn't perform in tournaments. He didn't do good at the drive, chip, and putt. He was very upset, crying. I'm just sitting back watching because I've never pushed him to do that. Like you performed at the level of the work that you put in. Now, once he starts understanding that, then I'm sure the push will come. But that's not for me to push him. That's not for me at 12 years old. That's not for me to push him because what am I pushing him towards? How good does he want to be? How much do you want to play? If you can't tell me, I'm not going to put my push on you. Right? That's just how I see it.
That makes 1,000% sense. And that's what, like you said, that's what everything, b-ball, football, whatever you do,
Anything.
Piano. I remember parents dragging their kids to violin lessons. They didn't want to play no violin. You sitting there listening to horrible violin for the recitals, and there's nobody smiling in the auditorium. They just playing because mama and daddy made them go take that violin. And I don't think none of them at 25 or 30 can even play the violin anymore. I think they threw that over there.
And that's the important thing to me. Golf has done so much for me, even though our routes are a little different, but golf has done so much for me, man. I play golf on 4 different continents, man.
Wow.
4 different continents.
That's crazy.
I've been on TV. I've held pretty decent jobs. I've played some of the best golf courses in the world. I don't want him to hate it to the point where he can't do that. Or he can't go out and enjoy golf with me when I'm 85 years old. Or he can't go out and enjoy golf with his son or daughter when they arrive. You know what I mean? So it's bigger than wanting to play PGA Tour. It's bigger than, wanting to be the greatest player in the world. This is a game that we can enjoy until the day we die, literally. And I want him to be able to do that. But if I push him right now, knowing me, as crazy as I can get, man, he'll quit. And I've seen it. I've seen good players. I've seen parents push players that are good to quit. So that's not my goal.
Even with success, like AK, like Kim, like what's our guy? He was a great player, man. And he's just like, I'm done playing anymore. And everybody was like, man, I want Kim to come back. I want Kim to come back. And
Anthony Kim?
Yeah.
That's a good difference. He cashed on an insurance policy.
Yeah, that's true too.
Yeah, he really can't play. Like if he wants to collect that money, he ain't playing.
He still can't play? Because I loved watching AK play, man. He was a monster, man. He was a monster.
And the belt buckles alone.
He was a gangster, man.
Yeah, exactly.
He was a straight gangster. What Kim from LA? Was Kim from LA?
No, he's from Texas, right?
Was he from Texas?
He was out from Texas.
Yeah, he was gangster now.
I know that's where he lives now. I know he lives in Dallas now.
Okay. AK. But we digress. Trish.
So Jay, for those that don't know, could you tell us what was your journey into golf? What got you into golf? When did you start? Do you have your why golf for you?
Yeah, it's kind of funny. I grew up playing. I was a football player, quarterback. And probably about the age of 10, I guess my granddad could look at me and tell I wasn't going to be but so big. Like when I say big, I'm tall, but I'm I mean, I'm 6'5", 200 pounds barely. So he put a golf club in my hand. I may have been 10. But I was all about Saturday football. Let's go play football and basketball and baseball. And I did it all. Four sport letterman in high school. But like as I got older, 16, 17, taking them bumps, playing football, like it was hard to get up on Saturday mornings to do the lawn and do what I needed to do and then go to the golf course. I made a decision like I'm done. I'm not doing this. Let's go. Let's take golf serious. I had been doing it for 3 or 4 years, going to the driving range with him. I actually hit balls for like 4 years before I touched the golf course until he knew I wanted to really do it.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but that's how I started. When I started going to Rogers Park at probably about the age of 14, 15, I saw kids that looked like me, that were my age, that can flat out play. Jim Dent Jr., Carnell McCray, Deshae Owens, Charlie Owens' son. We grew up around some ballers. So you couldn't come out to Rogers and not be able to play and not get talked about. You won't get talked about. So,
nice.
And growing and the junior golf program under Mike Cooper, that's who raised me. Mike Cooper and Kenny Sims, like they would play with us and take it serious. Like you gonna play? Let's go. Let's you want to talk trash? Let's go. And it was like a basketball game at the golf course. The competitive, you know how we are. We are competitive.
Yeah.
Right.
Black men are as competitive as anybody, right? So
Women too.
I was like, whoa, this could be competitive. It's not just hitting balls. It's not just. I didn't really take it serious, right? But once you start putting them 25 cents up and 50 cents and playing skins and doing little different things and not wanting to get talked about and wanting to beat the best player, that's when I started taking it serious. So probably at about 14, 15 is when I started noticing that I could be good.
Wow.
Nice.
Okay.
Nice. Great.
That earned me. I earned a scholarship to A&M.
Come on
played
now.
3 years there.
That was my next year.
Yeah, I was hurt for 2. But played 3 years of good golf. Played against Tim, me and Phil Terrell. Oh my gosh, man! Does Phil watch the podcast?
He does.
Oh man, hey Phil, if you on, what's up, bro? Hey man, that me and the St. Aug team, man, we used to roll. South Carolina State, played against Martin Roach. Saw some real good players, black players and white players. I played against Chris DeMarco, junior golf against David Duval. But finished school, came right out and started playing professionally. I actually won my first tournament. I won the actual PAT. I started to do the PGA program, but that was it seemed like a long route to make money. So I figured that I could play and make money. And also I was the assistant pro at Highland Park in Tallahassee. Hung around there, played some little mini tours in the South. I've won the Lake City Open before, won the Valdosta Open. Just a little small time. I was never a great player. I was just good enough to cash checks and play against small town competition, which was fine with me.
So tell us about them 4 different continents. What got to them 4 different continents?
Let's see. I played over in Japan. I went to Japan after that. Taught school over there, but actually quit teaching school and played on the mini tours over there. It was a standby tailor-made tour, and played a couple. I tried to qualify for a couple of JPGA tour events, but I ran into a guy that used to gamble with at the Saturday municipal, it wasn't a municipal golf course, but the golf course that the Japanese could play, that the Americans played as well. They played Tommy Hill's base. They played that golf course, but they could only play in the afternoon. But I would stick around and gamble with him. And I ran into a guy that had some money. He was impressed with my game, so he offered to sponsor me for a whole year to play over in Japan. I still lived on base and all that stuff, but played over there, but just wasn't good enough. Then came back home and got a job with Hillsborough County Schools and been there since 2002. Played golf in between, on and off when I could. Tried to make some checks. It's all about the competition for me. It's really not about the money if you have a job. It's all about the competition.
Right.
Okay.
Hey, but the one thing I like that Jay just said, that a lot of people miss who are in that space. The man is, he just read off his credentials. I mean, I crown him as a general in terms of what he knows, how he golfs his ball, the places that he's been. So I put him as a general. And the general just said he came home because he felt like that he wasn't good enough. But we have some guys, man, who are hanging on, playing and all this stuff and think they're going to get the next big break and this, that, and the third, and they're hanging on, but they can't get in. It's like the football guy that's going to every camp and he just can't make a squad. Sometimes you have to say, I'm just not good enough to be here. I'm just not good. It's like when I went to my first NFL camp. And at the end of the camp, I said, I'm not good enough to be here, man. So let me take my black ass on somewhere and find a real job so that I can, create an income and, for my family. But I appreciate that because, we have a lot of people that will just continue to perpetuate that I'm great and I'm going to the next level and this, that, and the third. So I appreciate that, Jay.
No, no,
And the
that's definitely true.
truth is the truth, right? If you're not good enough, you just I'm good, but I'm just not on that level. And it's okay. I mean, it's all right.
It's all right.
I'm not
No,
a
no,
bad person because that. I'll still bet any guy in the world. I don't care. I put my pants on just like you put your pants on, but
Right.
I know who to stay away from.
and all right, so do we have that culture now? Because I understand our age group, Sif, Jay, Manny, we know our limits and we're not afraid to be like, man, I'm at my limit. I think I don't reach what I reach, but we're gonna make it happen. But I'm not gonna sell false dreams. I'm not gonna sell no fantasies. I know what I can do. And
Right.
if we're talking about this level, I'm not good enough to be on this level. I'm gonna stay on this level. Are we building children? Are we building a generation that can handle that with the everyone gets a trophy era? Or is that just way out of control and kids are getting raised pretty much the same way? What do you I know mine are. I tell them all the time, you got to do this, that, and I don't give them illusions. I don't take their hope and their dreams away, but I don't give them illusions of grandeur because they're my daughters. They have to perform. Are we growing a generation that understands that like we do?
I don't.
Anyone can answer.
I think you're dead. I think you're spot on, man. I think that we're creating monsters, man. We're in a generation where everybody gets a trophy. So the thing is this: you may have a kid over in this section that says he's pretty decent, but this man just said he's been to 4 continents. You don't know how good you are until you leave your damn zip code. And so,
That's facts.
when you leave your when I went to Fork Union Military Academy, I'm playing against Eddie George, Dexter Coakley, and I was like, "What the hell's going on?" I left my zip code and found out that I wasn't as good as I thought I was. And so that's what we're doing with our kids, man. We create monsters, man. They think that they're pretty good, and then when they get smacked in the face, they can't handle it.
Okay. And social media, everyone's a star. Everyone has a Bentley. Everyone has $400,000 worth of gold around their neck. It's fantasy. It is just fantasy, and I guess we're sounding old, but
I think. My bad. It's kind of
no.
I'm sorry.
No. Go.
I think the issue that we often overlook is that anything can be done with hard work put behind it.
Facts.
Right?
Yeah.
Like if you're willing to put the work in, you can be as good as anyone, right? And I learned that by watching people work. That's why I always say, like, if you're afraid to work, you're afraid to be good. So I think what a lot of parents do is they put the good because that's all they see. They didn't see Tiger Woods bleeding hands when he's hitting balls at the age of 16 for 6-7 hours a day. right? They not in the gym at 4 a.m. with Ricky Fowler when he's doing his core, like he's just doing his core work, working on his core. Like they not seeing all the work, so they don't know what to tell their kids to do, right? Everybody has a plan until you get hit in the mouth, right? You got a plan until you get hit in the mouth. When you go out there and you play in these golf tournaments or whatever you do, basketball, football, and somebody out there is better than you, and you know they better than you, like you better find out what they doing that you not. Right.
Facts.
We want to we just want to get good. Like you can't just get good without working. Like that's what a lot of people fail to realize, and it's bad when your kids are being raised like that. Right? When you raise your kids my son sees me. He sees me get up every single day at 6 o'clock to go to work. He sees me come home from case in point, Saturday. He didn't see me leave the house and he didn't see me come home. I worked all day Saturday. I DJ, that's a business. That's a side business that I have. I worked all day. I left the house at 7:30. I didn't walk back in until midnight, right? But he's getting the fruits of the hard work. He's not just in monetary and material things, but he's watching me do that. He's watching me work.
Yes.
He may not be doing it now, but when he's 30 years old, he's going to understand what that hard work is all about. Parents are missing that, bro. They are missing that, and it's a shame. I see it every day in the schoolhouse, man.
No, definitely. You speaking facts on that, because kids always go home. And when I say kids always go home when they get older, they always resort back what they saw and what they know, no matter what happens. I've seen kids get work with some cats that we was all in bad situations or in entertainment at the time, and people was getting led astray. But when it came down to making the life and death decision, those that was raised right will always go back home and make the right decision. At the you would and those that wasn't raised right will always dive head first into the bad decision. And you sitting there, you're like, how can you go head first into death or destruction? And this cat right here, it didn't take him no time to be like, oh, that ain't for me, I'm out, without any question. But that he went back home. He went back to what he was taught and what he saw. And that is that what you said makes so much perfect sense.
But it's based on talent. But it's based on talent as well, though.
Yeah,
but here's it's like, for example, the guy that works his ass off that wants to run 4.3, but he don't have the talent to run the 4.3. So he'll never run 4.3, but he might be a hell of a track coach. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because he's worked it. Yeah. So it's all of it's predicated on talent. And so I think a lot of times we see kids and parents that think that their kid is going to be a scratch golfer, Division I golf. They just don't have the talent. They can work till the damn cows come home. They just ain't got it. But the kid may be a hell of a teaching pro. You know, there's other things that because they've worked so hard and they've built a rapport with other people. And they've learned the game and whatever they decide to do, and they may be very good at something else, but just not that.
I think so. I always said it was something in winners, but I was talking about the elite people. I think you can train anyone to get a D2, D1 scholarship if you work hard. You can't train a Tiger. You can't train a Serena. You can't train. You know, they have that in them. And maybe even like I see Jay, maybe not D1, but maybe you can squeeze them in a D2 or a D3 school if they work hard without, I mean, you know, you tell me, Jay, can you take a raw guy that not necessarily have the God-given talent of a golfer, whatever that is, and you work with him and he has a desire? How far could a golfer go? How far could a junior golfer go? But he works hard. He just has a...
What age are we starting?
We're starting at 10.
Yeah, for sure.
We're starting at 10.
For sure. Yeah. Can I get that guy? Can I build that guy to do what?
Say it one more time. You're working.
Can I get?
I'm saying, could you
If
take
we're
a
working, what level
10-year-old?
are you talking about? Can I get that kid to?
How far could he go? He doesn't have really the natural talent, but he has the great training and he has a great work ethic and a great attitude. How far could you take someone without the natural talent? We're not talking about he's awkward and he can't tie his shoes. He's just an average guy with average athletic ability. How far could you take someone like that, starting them at the age of 10?
Me personally, I know I could take him to D1 level golf.
See, there we go.
Yeah.
I think that's a championship to me. I think that's the championship to me. That with the right training and the right work ethic inside him, whether he has God-given talent or not, he can pretty much go far. Like what Sif said, he's never going to run the 4.3. He's never going, but he might run a 4.5. That's pretty damn good in a lot of circles, and it'll take him far. It just won't take him to the podium to get the gold medal. What say you, Sif?
Right.
You want to throw him in the trash, don't you? Don't you?
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna be honest with you. And golf is a different space. You got to understand.
He wants to throw him in the trash, Trish.
I'm a football player, and so as a football player, I look at physicality. I look at measurements, height, weight, speed, and so I can make that determination because I've coached. I can make that determination probably the first day of practice in the 8th grade where this kid will be when he leaves high school. Golf is a little different because it's not how much you can bench press, it's not how fast you can run. So Jay's in that space. So I have to go with the coach. I have to go with the person who's in that space and who can identify not necessarily top tier talent, but can identify talent in itself. So I digress.
Trish.
I had a question for you, Jay. So, and I always ask this question. So, you played golf in college. You came up playing golf. This day and age is a little different. We got money just like other folk got money, right? So, for me, what is that gap? What is that difference between our, college golfers and others? And because to me, there seems to be a gap between there, like the performance. You know what I'm saying? We got our HBCU golfers, that are out there, our elite, that's, our golfers. And then we have others that compete and go D1 schools or whatever. What's the difference? Why, it seems like there's a gap. I could be wrong, but it just seems like when we end up competing against one another, it just still seems to be a missing piece there.
Well, I think sometimes we get things misconstrued. We got to look at the percentage of us that are playing golf and the percentage of them that are playing golf, and then align the percentage of our elite to the percentage of their elite. It's probably going to be just about the same number of elite players, would you say, per capita, right? So
that makes sense.
I think we want to see as many black golfers as there are white golfers on tour. That's not going to happen because there ain't as many of us playing golf as them playing golf. It just ain't as many of us in the country. It's just, we got to keep everything in perspective. But to answer the question, I think, and I could be wrong, but at the end of the day, golf is still looked upon as an elitist sport. So I'm not going to go to the rec center where a lot of our kids hang out, play, do whatever, and pick up a golf club. I'll pick up a basketball, I'll pick up a baseball, I'll pick up a baseball glove. You're not picking up a golf club. You have to make special arrangements to get to the golf course to pick up golf clubs and do what you're supposed to do. Whereas you could just walk to the park right down from your house and play basketball. So I think the opportunity for them to be at the spot to do it more, to have parents behind it. A lot of black parents aren't behind golf because they don't understand it. Right? They have no idea what it is. They don't. It's going to change. This is going to change. It's just not going to be the quick change that we want all our stuff fast. This is going to be a generational change because more parents are now learning about golf because of Tiger Woods and because of hopefully Tim O'Neal on this senior tour level, right?
Yeah.
Now, once we start, older guys that are in their 30s with the Willie Max and those guys that are making it right now can really hone in on their games to do what Tim's doing or what Tim's about to do. And trust me, that dude's about to blow up. Listen to me.
No doubt.
Listen to me.
No doubt.
It's going to happen for him. I know him really well. I know his game. It's going to happen for him. But anyway, I just think the opportunities aren't being taken advantage of. But thank God for programs like the First Tee that are reaching out. Like the First Tee comes to every middle school in Tampa and teaches a 3-week course to every sixth grader. So every sixth grader gets an opportunity to touch a golf club. That's huge. That's huge. That's huge.
Exposure.
That's huge.
Yeah. We're not talking about elite players and U.S. kids. Golf is better than First Tee. First Tee ain't shit. No. First Tee reaches in this county. First Tee reaches daggone near 60,000 kids.
Wow.
Okay. So
okay.
More programs like that, it will happen, right? Because that, per sixth grade, I'm just thinking in my school, in my district, we have 44 middle schools. Okay, 44 middle schools in Hillsborough County. Let's just say 4 kids from each middle school just like fall in love with the game. It's over 100 kids right there. And most of the kids
build the pipeline.
My county is demographics is about 40% black in public schools. I know 30 for sure. So you know what I'm saying? So just give it some time. It's gonna happen. They outperform us because they take it more serious. Just like they won't stand a chance on the football field, right? They don't outperform us on the football field. You got a few. You got Christian McCaffrey. I mean, at the position that we play, you got McCaffrey, and that's about it. At the running back position, at the receiver position, you got Cooper Kupp, and that's about it. So it's just look at it in that terms, right?
Yeah.
That's
so,
true.
But I think the change is coming. I think the change is coming. I'm seeing more black kids. I'm seeing more black families at Rogers Park and at these tournaments. So it's coming. Let's just be patient. Let's just be patient.
Love it.
I love it because I know I've changed my thinking on the First Tee. We've been doing this show almost 2 years, and I was a little, I'm not gonna say have shade on the First Tee, but I just didn't know everything about what's best or what's a great way to introduce golf to our people. And like you said, exposure. You can't force people to like golf, but you can expose everyone. And if a few get it, like you said, if it's 40,000 and 100 come out to love it, that's a lot of people playing golf in one county. That's a lot of black people playing golf in one that really love it, and it's really going to get in it, and the parents are in it. You do that across all of our counties in America, you'll start seeing change, or you'll start seeing more color on the golf course. And now I'm just a huge firm believer in the First Tee. It's all the junior golf arguments and prescriptions, and I'm firmly at First Tee or something like First Tee to bring in people, like you say, get a 3-week, 4-week course. You introduce them. Hopefully you have a parent contingent leaflet to get their parents involved so they'll understand the benefits, and you'll filter out whoever comes. You can't force people to do it. It's too expensive. It's too time consuming to force someone to do golf. They got to want to do golf. The parents has got to want to do golf, else they're not going to do golf. You can give a ball to somebody and he can walk to the park and run across some cats, and they can play basketball every day, all day long, and get better and better. You can't give somebody, like Jay said, club and go to the park. Ain't nowhere. You got to go to the course. You got to go to the range. You can't go to the after school. You can't go to the YMCA.
And that's the thing. That's the thing about golf. You have to go to a specific place. You have. I mean, what Michael Blaze said, he goes to the field and hit ball. And you got to go to the golf course. Right? You got to go to the golf course. There's different aspects of the golf course that you have to learn about, but you have to go to the golf course. So thank God. I mean, I thank God to this day. I mean, my granddad was the smartest person that I've ever known. he looked at me and said, as much as you love football, homeboy, you're going to get killed out there. You're going to get killed. Let's put something in your hand that's not going to kill you, right? Because I was competitive. I was competitive. But thank God that happened. And now, you know, meeting Mike Cooper and being raised, and he'll never say it, but the first tee model, that, you know, what they do every day in their camp model, that's his model. That's what I grew up doing in Urban Junior Golf. He'll never say it. Coop will never say it. But what they do with the lessons, and then the life lessons, and then the learning about the game, the having conversations about the game, and take your ass out on the golf course and play the game, that's what we did in Urban Junior Golf. So that's his model. I'm giving him all the credit.
Wow. Absolutely.
Let's give it up.
Absolutely.
Let's give it up. Because if we don't give it up, you know, ain't nobody gonna give it up.
No.
Let's give that up. Ain't nobody gonna give it up. And
he's very
obviously
humble. He's very humble.
It's a proven method. It's a proven method. That's why I'm so amped right now on first tee or first tee like programs, because that's how we gonna get our numbers up. Funneling people through an organized program, and whoever filters in from that initial set, that's what we got. I think sometimes we want to jump to the floss. We want to jump to the elite. We don't want to funnel no one in. We want to eye pick somebody and say they're elite. We want to eye pick them. We don't want to funnel them through the right program. Mm-hmm. I think a lot of be different in our conversations if we thought like, hey, let's put our efforts into the first tee, whether for the kids and for the parents, and just get them introduction and let them choose.
Right.
Let them choose. Hopefully we put on a better program and give them the right information that they would choose the right thing if this is for them. You know, I think we'll get a lot of people sticking, but I digress. Sif.
Yeah, no doubt, man. Especially, single parents, especially single parent moms. Once you create when you create a curriculum, and, I've been in education for a long time. You create a curriculum and you introduce that curriculum to a parent. A parent is going to advocate for their child, especially moms. They're going to advocate for their child. And so a lot of times when they come to teacher parent conferences, sometimes they come in and they going off. They're not going off because they bad parents. They're going off because they advocating for the child and they have no idea how to advocate. And so the thing is, like what Jay was talking about, creating a curriculum where parents are involved, and then you roll out a curriculum to the parent and say, okay, these are the things that are going to take place. This is how you help your child. This is how your child helps you. And now it's a joint effort. And so now, as long as that mama knows that my man ain't over here trying to get my kid, or man ain't trying to get something out of me, mama, then it's cool. So everything comes down a level in terms of anxiety, pressure, emotions. And so I definitely agree with the advocacy piece in terms of introducing both the parent and the child to like the first tee and starter programs, like what you guys just mentioned. The one question I have for my man Jay, because we talk about it all the time, and he's probably gonna say, "Oh hell," but Jay, the thing is, man, I think there's some ambiguity that's in the airways of when people say, let's grow the game of golf. So, so what is your idea of growing the game of golf? And I'll let you roll with it.
My idea I have no idea, because, and no, the only reason why I say that is because I'm not a frontline black golf. Let's make it whatever. I'm not a black golf advocate. I'm not a freedom fighter. I'm not a civil rights leader for black golf. I'm just a guy that hopefully I can play once a month and shoot 75 and give me a skin or two and talk some trash and then go home to my family and cook dinner. So to answer that question, Sip, I don't know. But this is what I'll say. Whatever growing the game means, whatever we think is best for us and the game of golf. We have to stick together, right? Like people's idea of growing the game of golf is more black players on the PGA Tour. That's all they care about is more black players on the PGA Tour. The PGA Tour is such a small part of global golf, is ridiculous. It's the most popular pillar of golf, but it's so small. So is that part of growing the game? I do like the fact that there are more black PGA professionals, PGA of America professionals getting jobs in high places, because those are the people that have the answers to what is growing the game. Those are the people that have been doing golf for their life living for the last 30, 40, 50, 60 years. That's who we need to ask. I'm just a guy that wants to play. That's all I want to do is go out, have a good time, and play and try to take your money. But I think we do need to grow the game within our neighborhoods as far as exposure. I think we do need to grow the game as far as exposing adults that have kids. So the junior golf or junior parents, not just junior golf parents, but some parents that have that Timmy that's not going to make it on the football field don't know Rogers Park is right around the corner from where you playing. And you can drop him off at 7 o'clock and come pick him up at 5, and he's going to eat 2 meals, play 9 holes, and create friendships that he'll probably have for the rest of his life. They don't know, right? So that's part of growing the game. I think
definitely. Let's get that up too.
I think growing the game is taking the apparel game serious. Like I can make a shirt. I can make a golf shirt, right? And now support my golf shirt. Why are you supporting my golf shirt? Just because I made it? No, it's a good quality or it's whatever. But I think we need to take it serious. I've pretty much bought almost everyone's product that's in the BGA just because I want to support.
Right.
I'm probably going to say 10% of the stuff that I bought has been quality.
He ain't lying, man.
I mean, and then when I reach out to be like, hey, man, my shirt, you know, this ain't right, I don't get a response back. So now you want to be a nigga. Right? Now you want to be a nigga, right? Like, before you go, I mean, I think we need to take the apparel thing serious. Everybody can't put out golf apparel. I mean, I'm just...
No, real talk.
We was
just having a conversation about that. Yeah. That don't use apparel to get somewhere else you want to be. If you want to get into apparel, get into apparel. Yeah. Get into it. Get into the fabric. Get into the raw materials. Get into the design part. Get into the distribution, the supply chain. What's best for my customers? Do we want a little stretch? Do we want dry fit? Don't put an emblem on a shirt and be like, I'm an apparel guy, and then, well, I really don't like apparel. I'm just using this because I want to do this and do that. That's not fair, because I'm buying stuff that you don't even care about. It's not fair to me. Right. It's not fair.
But I think we're on to it. Deuce Golf is doing good. Al and Bucker Fogie, quality stuff, is doing good, right? And maybe ready to take that next step. But I think we need to take that lane serious, okay?
Yeah.
As far as like getting parents to understand that, because that's me and Pam were just talking about this the other day, because she's starting to see that Jaden is not taking it as serious as he should. So she was like, oh, he about to not have a choice because we ain't paying for no college. Like we ain't, that's now after 12th grade, you get to school for free, you do what you want to do. But you're gonna play some golf, we ain't paying for college. So me and Sip just had this conversation the other day. Millions of dollars in scholarship money is wasted because these people won't go to the golf course to teach the kids how to play, expose the kids where they can.
Yep.
I mean, if you're a black girl and you can shoot 110, you can go to school for free.
Ain't no doubt.
That's crazy. Come on, that's crazy.
So I think there might be need to be more reach out from the schools to the first tee or to the local municipal golf courses or in the school system or whatever. But I think that's how we can definitely grow. right? Get more black people in the school through golf.
That should be the only that should be the only mission to me.
Make it part of the curriculum. Make it part of the physical, the PE program.
Yeah, so I don't have an honest answer. That when I was asking and Sif, you already know I'm real. When I was asking the question to BJ, I was dead ass serious. I don't know.
He's serious to the mode.
I just hear we say it, and everybody has their own view. But like, if nobody's the leader of this thing, we just all gonna have each other's view and talk shit about it. We don't like it. And we're not going nowhere.
Chasing our tail. Chasing our tails.
But see, the thing is, like Jay and I were talking, man. It's like when white folk have a think tank, they create a 100-year plan. They come out of the think tank knowing where they're going each 10-year or 20-year, 25-year increment. Man, we have a sit down and think tank. We more confused than we went in.
We gonna argue.
Yeah, man. I mean, who's gonna be the preacher? Who's gonna do?
No. Who's gonna get paid? That's the first thing we want to know.
That's the first thing that's going.
We want to see what we can get out of it first. I'm on this to be real, right?
Real.
Oh, 100.
That's what happens. That's what happens. Like,
where's my stipend?
If ain't no check involved, I ain't finna put. Okay, what y'all talking about? Ain't no pressure, ain't no check. Oh, there's a check. Okay, well, this is what we need to do.
Yeah, that's a
and another thing, Phil. Another thing white people do, since we talking about white and black, and I'm not talking bad on our people because I'm black as hell.
Keep it real.
But one thing white people do is they come up with a plan, and then they don't tear each other down. They may take each other to court, but they gonna stick together when it comes to the big picture. They sticking together. They may not like each other, behind the picture, but looking at the picture, they sticking together. We arguing before we even got the paper to draw the picture. We arguing, we fighting, we fussing.
Because they understand the mission.
What the hell you talk about? You don't know what you. Right.
They understand the mission. The mission is to save the pie. You can't get a piece of the pie if you destroy the pie every chance you get. Save the pie at all costs, then come back and try to get you a piece of it. But the pie must be saved. No one to eat without the pie.
It's crazy.
You gotta save the pie at all costs.
It's the thing is, man, and Jay and Manny and Trish, we've had this conversation. I spoke to Jay about it the other day. Is we don't recognize when a general is on deck. When you have a general on deck, man, you have to have privates, you have to have corporals, you have to have second lieutenants to salute and carry out what the general has created for the mission. We don't do that. And so when you got guys like Jay that comes on, Jeff Champ, and all those guys who have Andy Walker, who've been in that space for all of their lives, hey, I'm a private because I got a general on deck. Man, we got cats that just matriculated into the space that want to be generals. And then that's why I had a call today about the junior golf piece. And I just said, man, I'm done with it. I said, I don't even want to have no more conversation about it. I'm just done with it, man, because we are a wandering herd, man. We're split. I just told my man, I said, I don't even want to talk about it no more, man.
Because you know what I've seen, and you get a knack of like, okay, one little piece is, we need to support the juniors. Let's give money. And so for the last 8 months, it's been a money grab. I'm not saying it ain't going to the right places, but it's been the money. We ain't talking about instruction. We're not talking about a plan for the future. We just coming up with new ways.
25 racks.
People. We just keep coming up with new ways every month to ask people for money, but we don't know what is going.
We need to get behind this, Junior. We need to do this. Why?
And it's no direction, and then so we stop that plan, and then we come up with a new plan to ask for money again. And it's small money, and it's large money, and it's medium money, and it's up and down. But then you see the frustration in the groups. I've seen the frustration in the groups in the last 2 weeks. It's imploding right before my eyes about different conversations about the juniors. It's taken a bad turn in the last couple of weeks. I'm just gonna put it out there. The shit I've been reading on the Facebook groups on both of them, it's taking a bad turn.
Hey, man, when somebody put that 17 and 50 racks out there, I said, man, I got a daughter. I'm paying $1,700 a credit hour for, not a class, a credit hour. It's gonna cost me about 60 to 70 racks for a graduate degree. And somebody just put 50 racks out? Man, come on, man. I can't.
For a junior golfer.
Yeah, come on, man. Come on now. That's
That's because we're a wandering herd and there's no leadership and there's no plan.
But they putting out 15, 20 racks with no way for you to get it back.
No, you ain't getting that back. It's a donation.
You asking for sponsorship. Hey, any kind of sponsor I had, there was a contract. I got to give some of that money back, or there's an understanding. The understanding is you give me this money.
How do you keep it going?
And I appreciate you. Nah, bro. Not no junior.
Because how do you keep it going? How do you, even if you don't want to get the money back to spend it, how do you keep the program going if you don't have any circle of give back? So yeah, I'll donate to this junior and we'll be on a payment plan, or if you do this or do that, you can get the money back. And I want to put it back into the program to fund another junior. We just can't be a bottomless pit where we'd be like, here's some money, you have no responsibilities to do anything with it, and then the next one comes, here's some more money, you have no responsibilities to do anything with it. Okay, here's some more money, and then you don't fund your program, right? Because no money is ever coming back into the program. Hey, we're just giving. It's a bottomless pit.
But if your junior is fire, if your junior is bad like that, they're gonna get a scholarship.
Oh yeah, they're gonna get a scholarship.
If your junior is bad, they're gonna go to school for free. You know, it's proven with Haven Ward. She put the numbers up. She got a scholarship.
Yeah. And started late and with a single mom and all the odds against them, and they figured it out through the village of help and little small donations. But like she said, I have one couch in my house and I have not furnished my house because all the money goes to junior golf. Right. I have to be broke and put money in before I ask someone else to help my cause. So and that's why, right. Yeah. And that's why she got the scholarship and they're successful because they went all in. All right. We're gonna have you back, Jay, because we got more to discuss.
I have one more question for Jay.
Just to talk. Okay.
Before we jump off, Jay, so you played 4 different continents. You decided to go and try it over in Japan. So we have like the PGA model to try to get your Q card or whatever to play here in the States. For those golfers, those youth golfers, those are playing the APGA or college golf, would you suggest to them to try to travel abroad to make professional? Did you hear me, Jay?
He's thinking.
Again, how good are they? Yeah. How good are they?
What made you do it?
Just because you go to Asia doesn't mean it's going to be any easier. Because I was already over there, and I thought I was good enough, and I got out there. It's not even. Hey, those cats can play just as well as our cats can play.
Okay.
Trust me. Like,
I asked that question because I've heard from others. Go ahead. Go ahead, Jay.
You might be frozen.
No, I was going to say anybody that's playing a professional golf tour, I don't care where it is, a professional golf tour. I don't care what tour it is. I don't care what country it is. They can play. They can play.
Okay.
And there's going to be top dogs everywhere. So going to Asia, going overseas isn't going to guarantee you anything that's not going to happen here for you. Like if you're good, you should be able to play anywhere.
Okay.
It may not be big tour status, but everybody's not going to play the big tour. It is. I mean, it is what it is. Everybody's not going to do it.
Okay.
But going overseas, is just as expensive as playing over here, if not more, because you're living away. You're living away from home. I mean, in Japan, the traveling in Japan is like ridiculous.
Right.
Ridiculously expensive. Living is ridiculously expensive. So, if you're not gonna be the top dog here, you're not gonna be the top dog over there.
Okay.
Makes sense.
That is dead true. A guy here. Matter of fact, you may have played with him before, Jay. I know him and Tim McNeil played a little bit while they were out there trying to get on. Elliot Gailey. He's the coach at Lenore Ryan. He played his college golf at Clemson, but played in the U.S. Open. Great ball strike. He couldn't make it. He just wasn't good enough. And I've watched this cat shoot 58. If he just wasn't good enough. And so it comes a time. I played with a guy who said that he played on the APGA tour. He said I beat him by 10 shots, and I wanted to tell him, man, you need to. You might want to cut grass or, go to the pro shop. But that's real though.
You always want to make people cut grass. You're always trying to send somebody to the landscape.
All I'm saying is the dream is over in terms of chasing. Hey, like I said, man, I wanted to play in the NFL, but the cards wasn't dealt for me. And I knew that when I started playing with some of them cats, I said, man, I'm out of my league. Some of these guys, man, have false realities on what's the deal. You can't play on any tour shooting 100. I'm just keeping it real.
You can't even go to my weekend golf league thinking you're gonna win some money shooting 100.
You can't play on any tour shooting 75.
Right.
Whoa, come on.
Yeah, you go to the tour, Army tour.
Like we always say. Well, we always say that. The numbers is the numbers. You shoot your number, shoot your number. The numbers is the numbers. It ain't even really that much crazy. You got to shoot the numbers. You got to shoot.
And you know what I've seen, and you probably seen it too. But and it's funny that this conversation comes up because I've seen it at Rogers Park for years. Guys thinking they can play. But if you, I ain't gonna say. No, don't do.
I'm not
gonna be that real. I'm like, nah.
No, you got to keep it real.
He said I'm not gonna be that real.
You ain't got to name names. You ain't got to name names.
No, I would never do.
Yeah,
that. I'm not that guy. I'm an instigator shit, but I ain't gonna talk about nobody. Yeah. A lot of guys don't want to work, man. And when I say work, I mean like a job.
Right.
So they hang on to the golf thing because they duck and work. Like who wouldn't want to go to the golf course every single day and have somebody pay for it and play a tournament once a month? You traveling out of town, you eating on somebody's dime. I mean, like who wouldn't want to do that?
Hey, but you know what?
That's real talk. I see that in music. I used to see that in music all the time. Like, dude, you 32. Yeah. You ain't coming out with a fresh album. You done been doing rap and singing for like 12, 13 years. Dude, get a job.
Now,
we're not supporting your music career.
Let me ask you something, Manny. You in LA, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Have you ever heard of Junior Walker?
Junior Walker. Not offhand.
Yeah.
I think he's from LA. Well, he's passed, I believe, but I think he's from LA. And I just bring his name up because, I mean, for somebody to play golf every single day and not make it, right? Not make it on the big tour with Charlie Horse and Charlie O and Dan. He was around. He was a little younger than those guys, but in that age frame. To never not have a job and not make it, he lived pretty damn good. Every time I see this dude, man, this dude is clean. I'm talking about the fresh foot joys, the Sansa belt pants, the Lamos hard collar shit. This brother was clean, and that's all he did. But he never made it, so he just found the right person to sponsor basically his life, right? So I've seen guys just barely make it You know, because they got somebody giving them $100 here, $500 here, $1,000 here. You know, that's how they live their life, but they ain't getting up and going to work every day. They at the golf course waiting on suckers like me to try to get $25 off to go buy them a bottle and go home.
Right.
But I think like that has been the culture, you know, of Black professional golf. If I'm not good enough, I'm still gonna keep trying because somebody's gonna pay my bill. Instead of being like me, like, listen, man, I just shot. I was thinking about this today. My last professional tournament, the last one, I said I'll never do this shit again. I filed for my amateur status the next day. I shot 4 under for 2 days at Rolling Oaks in the rain at Worldwoods in Brooksville on the West Florida Golf Tour. This was I can tell you the year. This might have been 2012. I shot 4 under. The people in my group, I think one cat was 6 under for 2 days. The other cat was like 8 under for 2 days. I just knew I was good. I'm in this thing. Man, I made the cut on the head at 4 under, and 13 was leading after 2 days. This ain't for me. This ain't for me.
That's real.
I can't. Yeah. I'm not gonna shoot 13 under for 4 days. So what made me think I could play with these cats that's shooting it for 2 days?
Right.
Nah. So they won't make that. They won't make that decision because they haven't set themselves up or educated themselves enough to be able to do something else. So they got to lean on that and have people put money in their pockets. And I've seen it, man. I don't want to name no names, but I've seen it, and I keep seeing it. But I think that's been the culture of
Hey, Jay.
My bad, man.
It's funny, man, because I think that we all know someone that is probably still doing that, man. That's why we laughing like.
Well, and it's in all cultures. It's in all cultures. Remember, I remember even in the casino movie. Remember, the old girl's boyfriend was a golf hustler. He just went around to the country clubs and hustled rich amateurs for money. The golf hustle game has been around forever, and like you said, people want to just
Manny. There's a difference between a hustler. A hustler can play. Yeah. We talking about cats that stay in the space that can't play, but they've tricked the person who's sponsoring them to keep them in the game.
Yeah, they go get some TrackMan numbers and show them the numbers. And they come see, I shot this and I can shoot that. You shot 100. Come on, man. Bruh.
He ain't lying, man. He ain't lying.
Man, that's a cold piece. That's a cold piece. That's a cold piece.
If that's what you choose to do and you good at it, who am I to say that ain't what you should be doing?
Yeah.
No, you shouldn't be
that's
doing
just that's just the culture of why?
Oh man.
I mean, if somebody believes in you, and but I go to work. You'll live a better life.
Hey, the person that believes in that.
That's not part of the conversation. That's not part of the conversation. I can't tell nobody to go to work. But if that's working for you, bro, I want you to have a good time. If you found you a fool that want to part with their money,
bam. That's what I was about to say. That's what I was about to say. The person that believes in it don't know the game.
I'll be a senior tour practicing, getting ready for some bitch. I sure will. If somebody gonna give me $50,000, damn sure will.
That's great.
Yeah.
Cut the grass.
Yeah, that's hilarious. That is hilarious. He was like coming back with TrackMan numbers with it's still white out on it, where they done put some.
Got the sweet ass belt and the pants.
That's a cold.
We see it in our group all the time. Like we see it all the time. Like we see it all the time. I'm not going. I'm a digress. I'm a digress.
Man,
I love it. I love it. All right, man. That was a great combo. We gotta have more.
Absolutely.
We're just gonna have more combos, man. We're gonna get into all different kinds of stuff later on in the year. It's always good to hear from cats that's taking that journey. You just say you're a regular, Cat Jay, but you ain't regular. You've been to 4 continents. You play professional. You play college.
I'm a regular dude. I want
Now
everybody.
you're a
I'm a
regular dude, but you
guy.
got the knowledge of a well-traveled journeyman. You got the knowledge of a well-traveled journeyman that's actually seen it and done a little bit of it. What
And
can
I
you say? You
listen.
can't take
And
that
I
away.
and I listen. And I listen.
Nice,
And
nice.
before we go, I want to tell y'all the most inspiring moment. And I thought about this today. I really wanted to say this. What really got me to love competitive golf and playing golf. It was Rogers Park. I want to say 1990, and I was driving a car, so it had to be 90 or 91. I don't think I was a senior in high school. I came out to the park after school. Was going to meet the fellas out there, hit some balls, talk shit or whatever. And it was the same time that the GTE Classic was in town. That was the senior tour stop. I think Lee Trevino won. They played it at Tampa Palm. So I come to Rogers. It's a Tuesday or Wednesday. I remember like it was yesterday. I get out the car and I notice like there's a buzz around the place. It's like a buzz. Everybody's out and about. Like, what is all these people doing here on a Tuesday? This ain't normal. Now go in the pro shop, see what's going on. Man, they all out there playing. They all out there playing, talking trash. Who is they? Who y'all talking about? So I'm hitting balls, and right by the driving range is number 7, and the green is right there by the driving range. I see about 30, 40 golf carts coming down the fairway. I'm like, what the hell is going on? So I walk over there, and I see 4 golf carts. In these golf carts, I see Charlie Horse. That's Charlie Sifford. I see Charlie Owens. I see Jim. Was Dent there? I see Jim Dent. He was younger. I see Jim Dent. I see Junior Walker. And I saw who was the last one? Ron Terry. They out there playing for and James Black.
My man.
They out there playing for some money. They out there gambling. Everybody was watching. And I'm looking. I'm like, wow. Who I know who they are, but I was new to the park. I was kind of new. Everybody knew CO, right? Everybody knew CO, but I didn't know who Charlie Sifford was, and I didn't know who I knew Ron because he hung out at the park, but I didn't really know Dent. I knew Dent Jr., but Dent was traveling the PGA Tour. He wasn't in town a lot. I didn't really know him, so I started following, and Ron Terry hit a shot, and I'll never forget this. Sif. Your uncle made this comment. Ron Terry hit a shot. At Rogers Park, number 8 is a 200-yard par 3. Pin was cut on the right side, right close, and the water is right there. If you hit the side of the hill, you're going into the water. So everybody hit their shot. Boom. Everybody going left of the flag. That's the play, right? Wind's going to the right. Everybody going left of the flag. Ron steps up there and hits a big sweeping hook, almost damn near over the water, to the right side of the flag to about 8 feet, right? I don't know how much money was on the line. I wasn't getting the conversation. Charlie Horse look at him and say, "You've got to be the dumbest motherfucker I ever seen to hit a shot like that." And this how Charlie Horse talks. You got to be the dumbest motherfucker in the world to hit a shot like that. And I was like, why would he say something like that to the person that hit literally the best shot in the group? Right. And I think somebody said, "Hey, he hit the best shot." He said, "Nah, he ain't hit the best shot. He's just the luckiest nigga in the group." So no, I say all that to say this. Once I heard him say that to Ron Terry, who was probably the best player in the group at the time. I don't know if y'all know Ron, but Ron was a legend around here. Probably the best. For him to say that to the best player in the group, I need to listen. I need to listen to people that look like him, his age, that do this. So as we going up 8, 9, they went down 10 and came back down 11. I learned so much about the game of golf in that hour, and I also learned that if you can't hit your ball in a group like that and have people talk shit to you, you can't play. You can't play. Because when I say they was talking mad trash, I'm talking about, oh my God, it was like I've never seen something like this before. So yeah, I just wanted to say I got this way, not because I'm this guy, I've been all this, I've been all that. I'm not afraid to listen. I'm not afraid to listen. I don't know half the shit a lot of people know. So the more people can teach me, the smarter I'll be, and be like the person you think I am. But I'm just a regular guy, and I want everybody to know that I'm just a regular guy. I ain't no superstar. No, I'm a regular dude.
That's what's up.
There's something to say about regular cats. Thank goodness. And regular cats keep it real all the time, and that's what's really, really needed. Great conversation, man. We just love talking about golf and discussing golf, and we're gonna do it again soon if we can. We're gonna do it again real soon. All right, you guys. Where we at? Oh, we at 1:30. We an hour and a half running our miles. Guess what? We gots to be out. Deuces. Yeah, that was good stuff. We still live though, but that was good stuff. Let's get that up.
Thanks for coming on, Jay.
Thanks, Jay.
Word them up.
And I appreciate y'all, man.
Oh, no, appreciate you, brother.
To all the BJ people I sent the music to, let me know something.